I wanted to just share my vision. Before I go into it, I'm gonna give you a brief breakdown, but I'm a lover of music and I had this vision and I actually started it. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in the beginning, but since this is my first, I guess, talk about sharing my vision, I have typically hoarded my vision to myself. And even before I started recording this, I uh, I sort of started to think about it. I was like, man, I could do it. I can go. I can make it happen. I can do it myself. I can build this thing, etc., etc. And but I'm really in the phase in a spot where I want to. Here, I'm pause this and let this damn cat out. Okay. Uh, so anyway, yeah. Anyway, I typically hoard my vision, and I'm doing my best to not get the same results and do the same thing that got me the same results, and I go through this cycle, and so I'm just leaning more into faith and just trusting the process. And a lot of the times I get so focused, hyper focused on this ability that I have and trying to figure it out. And but anyway, we're not gonna go on a tangent on that. We're gonna stay focused. We're going to talk about my vision. I'm gonna share it. And I'm hesitant to share it because I want to do it myself, because I want to have it look the way I envision it. But I'm gonna let go and just share it. And I encourage someone because I would love to see this brought to life. And I am clearly not the guy to make it happen. While I may have the vision, I'm the vision guy and I can take action, but I'm a very flawed action taker. And that's not a slight against myself. It's just a fact. I have history that proves it. And so, anyway, so to the vision. I freaking love music. And a while ago, I came up with the vision for a radio and a radio station. And it was going to originally be, this was like 10, 15 years ago when I originally had the vision. I had the name, the concept, what we would play on the radios, how it would sound, etc., etc. And went around getting signatures. I think somewhere I still have this sheet, but I may have thrown it away. But I got signatures trying to get people to sign it so that I could take that to an investor. I was going to get an investor to invest in the equipment to make the radio station and then make that happen. And so it just never happened. I think I got like maybe one or two pages filled. I was gonna get like 500 or 1,000 signatures or something like that, something crazy. But anyway, years later, I created, and I have it online. You can Google search it. It is called WYBM Radio, and it stands for What You've Been Missing. And this is something that my heart just craves. It's one of those things. And, a lot of the visions that I have, it's funny. I grew up, I watched, That's So Raven. And so every time I say vision, I'm sitting there thinking of some crap like that. But anyway, but whenever I have a vision, it's sort of just something I want to see in the world. And it's not necessarily the fact that I want to do it myself. It's just that I haven't seen it done or haven't seen it done in a way that I want to see it brought the fruit, right? It's like a business, and the way business operates. Business can operate, be productive, and grow and such like that, but they might not necessarily treat customers the way that customers should be treated, or employees, or maybe the operations, because I've been an employee, and operations sometimes seem like they're very ill managed and very inefficient. And I've been looking at business and, customer service and experiences this way for years, way beyond my years, right? So I'm 36, by the way. I know the gray hair can throw you off, but yeah, anyway, back to the vision. I have a hard time, so I'm bringing it back, right? So on WYBM radio, I I play. So I made, I think, 4 episodes, maybe 5, but I've made 4 or 5 episodes, which I put 6 songs on there, and I had this sort of vision where there would be this smooth talking radio host, right? And just over the years, my experience with radio has been, radios would typically have like a show that I really like, that I enjoy. I love old school rap. More specifically, my kind of rap is more on like the East Coast, like your Nas, your Biggie. If you want to go deeper, we could talk Mountain Brothers, the Lord Finesse, Big L. I just discovered LZI not too long ago, and Little Brother, and these are all like that East Coast lyrical, talking about real stuff, vibes, and that's my stuff, right? And but I don't necessarily want to be a DJ, but I love and I appreciate seeing a good DJ, someone that can blend songs together. I have no interest in learning how to do it. I don't know where this disconnect is. Like what's disconnecting this vision for all of these things and the actual urge or the want. Because most of the time when someone's passionate or gets this excited about something, it's like, oh, okay, huh, well, maybe you should get a job in it and learn to do it and do it, and then that's what you do. But I don't, you know, bring it back. I gotta remember to bring it back, right? So my first episode, I did 6 songs, and I wanted to kind of blend it in so that people can have some familiarity, but also introduce them to the level of depth that I wanted to go with the show. And so what I did is I picked 3 artists. I think it was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Diggable Planets, and I forgot the third. I think it was a Tribe Called Quest. I think so. I actually think I'm wrong on that. But anyway, I did 3 songs that everyone knows of that these people did. Like, for example, on Bone Thugs and Harmony, I did First of the Month. And then I did a song called These Are the Days of Our Lives, which is another great song that I think it's what you've been missing, which is the whole theme of the song. And then there's Diggable Planets, which nobody ever knows the name of these artists, but Diggable Planets are the one that did Rebirth Sickness, aka Cool Like That, which is cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool. and that's all people ever know, and it has that real jazzy boom, 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 boom. And I'm messing that up. I know I'm butchering it, but I did that song, and then I think I said played Where I'm From. I think so. And I just, for some reason, the third song that I did, I don't know. I mean, I could have did anything. Like, if I did do Tribe Called Quest, I probably would have did something like Can I Kick It, and then maybe lyrics to go. And it's just, and I came up with that off the top of my head. I know that's not the song that I did. You can go and check it out. I created a logo, a theme, and all this. And I put in some work over some years. I linked up with a DJ. So I'm definitely not, the thing is that I'm not afraid to do and go after any of these things. And I think most people that have a vision, a dream, or something that they want to do, a lot of the times they don't make that effort and take action towards it. Me, I guess I start off real strong, and then I get sort of overwhelmed by how deep, because my vision, it's not just like a grand scheme of things. I also start to develop a web of like how we're gonna get there, and then this might fall into this, and then once I dive into this, it could branch off into that, and so you could get distracted easily. And so, but that's what I love. That's what I would love to do for a living. It's just people that maybe are just great executors, like someone that's like maybe passionate about one of the visions. And I've wanted to do this. It's been sort of a goal, and it's still my goal. I mean, I have endless amounts of hope. For some reason, out of all of the disappointments or all of the failures or all of the shortcomings I've had, I have this almost just almost annoying vastness of hope, where I still believe, like, oh well, if I keep going, then oh well, then this one thing might trigger this, this whole chain reaction of just great things. It would boom, 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 and in 3 days I'll be a billionaire or something. And so so yeah, but anyway, my whole vision is to, I still want to amass some wealth and really to build a team around. I want to be a small role. I want to be a well-paid small role, because I think what I do is more valuable than a lot of people give credit. And in fact, I sort of sometimes feel like I'm a spectator watching this genius, and yet it's the spectator who is in control of the body. And so I don't know if I've ever put two and two together, but I have. But it's just like, it's two separate people, two separate entities. And it's like the person that comes up with things like WYBM radio, or, I mean, it could be, man, I had this one really cool idea, and I had this way back in freaking, was it high school? It was high school. No, it was high school. But we had a class with I don't remember if it was history, but anyway, we had this whole thing about global warming, and we had this class about it, and talked about solar energy and the power of it, and I just like cognitively, and this is where my mind will go a lot of the times. It sees everything as possible, even some of the most impossible things now. It's like we can figure it out. We'll figure it out, right? But when they started talking about solar power, I was like, well, all the time I see these panels and they're only facing one direction. And, I was thinking about like a satellite dish that would kind of follow the rotation of the sun. And then it would kind of converge, all the energy collected would converge. And I just thought it would be cool to have it to go to like a battery, and maybe this battery can be removed, or maybe a set of batteries. And then I was thinking even bigger. I was like, what if you get like a dome or a pyramid that covers 360 degrees, and all that energy collected would go in, and it would generate batteries, and these batteries can be kind of shuffled off the different parts of the city, as opposed to it just converging and maybe powering the city. That too, but which is currently been done. And then also you got like the Hoover Dam and stuff like that. It's like, man, there's certain genius things that have been done and they just stopped. It just, some of these things, it's just, man, you know what? I am gonna do this again because I enjoy talking about it. I mean, look, I've been at this point. I have been incapable after years and years. I'm talking since like damn near middle school, elementary school. I've been having certain visions like this, and that's where I would say I've got this gray hair, is my continual attempts to try to do that. And so, yeah, I just, anyway, that it's just cool stuff like that. I know we're talking about WYBM radio, and I was just listening to Elzai earlier. I know we just switched. You, you might want to get used to that if you're gonna come back, but but Elzai, I was listening to a guy named Elzai, I think. And this guy reminds me of a cross between Big L and Nas, and just the lyrical prowess is just impressive. And he doesn't have any of the level of clout that I feel like is warranted. There's a lot of people. There's still a lot of great artists still out here doing it that just are impressive. I think, so some of them are like within the past five or so years. Like Common Market is a cold one. You got Epidemic. Epidemic is cold. Epidemic is impressive. And I think that Epidemic is still putting out stuff, if I'm correct. Um, I just discovered a guy named, I think it's Moochie or something like that. Now, I haven't dove into him too much, but he's cold. I don't know if I followed him. I mean, I followed him, so he's got to be cold. Because I don't just follow anybody. Then, who is that? Dev Brown, I just discovered. That's a cold man. And some of these guys, I'm just now just dipping my foot in. I like to get in, dive deep. I like to find more people. And then I just realized I never put two and two together, but I didn't realize that Elzai came from Slum Village, which is just. And then you got guys like One Below. One Below doesn't do anything before, but he's also known as One Man Army, and then One Man Army, and then you got Binary Star, which was the group. And I feel like he had a third name, but yeah, just some cold MFs, man. And it's all like that East Coast lyrical style that it's going with, and just I like to stay on that theme. That's just that whole like that energy is just just fantastic. And I know that I weaved all around, but I think I'm gonna cut it there. I mean, I've already been talking for I don't know how long. Let me see. Oops. For 20 minutes. I think that's long enough. So, have a good one.